Welcome. Tonight, a special report on Dude News. Hi guys, we're back. I know that was a little fast. This is just a post-credits update on Jason David Frank. We found out some more details surrounding his passing, and unfortunately, what we came to learn was that he was served some divorce papers at a Comic-Con event in Texas, and that was surrounding around the allegations of cheating and infidelity. And I was just baffled. I just wanted to let people know, along with this video, that if you know anyone that is facing any sort of mental health issues, or maybe perhaps on the verge of contemplating self-deletion or anything of that sort, in New Zealand, we have a number called 988. That is a Ministry of Health assistance line for anyone that is feeling sort of on the verge of any sort of self-harm. And if also we have Life Matters and Lifeline. These are also two New Zealand companies you can contact if you're not based in New Zealand or wherever you are in the world. I'm sure there is a national health service line for any sort of self-harm or self-deletion or any kind of any thoughts that may inflict on yourself or on others. So mental health is something very important, and it's also something that's very taboo within the male community. And that's why me and Benda ourselves took it upon ourselves to speak on different situations involving life, pop culture, and most importantly, just different aspects of social dynamics that men and women both need to understand about each other and our biological differences. Now, George Clooney, for example, is a man that is lauded, he's praised by multiple women because he's a very handsome young man. But what got George Clooney to be a bachelor for the many years that he was a bachelor was due to one heartbreak that he experienced very early in his life. And due to that heartbreak, he had determined that he no longer wanted to risk his mental health, his peace of mind, to be involved with someone in a romantic setting. And so he stayed single for a number of years just so that he can give himself the opportunity to concentrate and focus and let his career flourish. And now he's happily married, and in whatever circumstances that may be, or whatever kind of wedding arrangement or marriage arrangement that they have. You see couples together for 20, 40 plus years, but you never know what their arrangements are. And right now in modern day times, I think couples, and males and females, we've lost sight of what it means to be in a companionship and what we both need biologically, and these differences that we have that are biological and they are different from each other. So what I mean by that, and what I'm saying, is that for example, the obstacles that Will Smith has gone through, Johnny Depp has gone through, Phil Hartman, who's a comedian in the 90s. Phil ended up being murdered. And they both all three of them come from the star sign, they're Libras. So, and I know star signs are somewhat of a mystique to some people, but there's some truth to a bit of it. You know, it's not an excuse for your behavior per se, but that particular star sign doesn't like confrontation. So when you would see Johnny Depp in a situation, he would exit because he didn't like confrontation. Same with Will Smith, exact same story. He didn't like confrontation. And the very dangerous part about those types of relationships, which can be volatile and very abusive, is that you both need to know your biological differences. And there's a lot of men that are grown up in single parent homes that have no idea of how to go about love and relationships, what a woman wants, what a man wants, and how to bring that together so you both know your roles and you both can perform to the best of your ability. So with that being said, I just want to reach out and thank everyone who took the time to watch this video. Shouts to the late Pua, who was also a Power Ranger based in New Zealand, and he was the Red Ranger, and he ended up taking his life behind the same circumstances. Literally behind the same circumstances, that it was due to a domestic dispute and ongoing arguments that were taking place. Now, when men get upset, we defend ourselves physically. That's why we're more prone to following through with any sort of self-harm, which is not a good thing. But we are very physical in nature. Women, the way that they defend themselves is mental. So, therefore, in a domestic situation, if a woman is unhappy and she gets mentally aggressive with a man, he doesn't know how to take it. He doesn't know how to cope with it. So you might see him get angry. He might punch a wall. He might, unfortunately do something terrible where, he may cross the line and put his hands on his partner, which is unacceptable. But the reason why he may have engaged in that sort of way is because he doesn't know how to cope with being mentally attacked. And so if someone cheats on a spouse and someone's repeating to them, oh, you cheated on me, you piece of crap, you cheated on me. And they go around and they mentally are aggressive to not just the man, but they socially will try to ruin his life and his relationships or through divorce. These things can push men over the edge. So it's very important for men to learn about what we call red pill knowledge or manosphere, however you want to put it. You have to know these differences between men and women. Otherwise, you are a target. You have to know your worth. All of these men that I'm talking about, these are men that were built themselves up and they forgot who they were because they're in that relationship because of who they were. Men build themselves up to a certain standard and a certain value. And with that being said, for this reason, this is why men have a very hard time with fidelity and I would say being exclusive in a relationship, because we build ourselves up so that we get chosen, so we have options, and so we spend our lives trying to make a name for ourselves. And that's why George Clooney stayed single for as long as he did, because he built himself up to be of worth. And with that comes in ancient times, a gladiator. This is why gladiators or any sort of kings or any man that was a leader always had a harem of ladies, harem of ladies around them. But yes, so as you just saw with Adam Levine and his situation regarding some sort of infidelity, this is why his wife was able to accept him for who he is, because she was attracted to him based off the fact that he built himself up. And so why would she torture him for that beauty she found in him? And so for this reason, couples have to come to their own arrangements, their own agreements, and you have to ask about these values early on. All right, guys? So what I would suggest to you guys is stay knowledgeable, stay researching, stay going through your personal development, whether that's male or female, learning your differences, which makes you able to coexist. And the reason why some of these marriages last as long as they do, sometimes in these old school relationships, the man would have a woman way across town. The wife would know about it, but they would never discuss it because she's like, he takes care of me and we're at home. And it's not about a matter of you don't need each other because you have the advent of being a taxpayer and working a job, but life is meant to be shared. And biologically, you look crazy at a certain point in time if you remain single and you're blaming everyone in the past and the patriarchy and men, or whatever the case may be, or if it's women as well. So salute to everybody out there. Men, if you have any questions, feel free to DM us on IG and we'll get back to you. Anything of that nature, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. And there's hardly any refuge for men. There's plenty of refuge that is out there for women. I think in New Zealand, the only thing they have is an organization called She's Not Your Rehab, which is sort of for men that have addiction problems and might go to a woman and they're saying she's not the proper person to go to for therapy. But there's no guidance for them being able to give men tools from what I've seen of things as far as for men to go about their lives and coexist and how to be accountable. And maybe they teach these things, maybe they don't, but we're here to try to do our part to enlighten people to become more familiar and more interested in self-development to be able to get to that point. So guys, love you, and that's out. Dudes Brewing. Peace. Hey guys, if you want to watch more clips, click here.
And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here.